Hi everyone, it's your boy Ray. As you can see, I'm still in the host hotel here in Issaquah, Washington, but um, I'm already done with the show. So this vlog is actually going to be a post-show reflection vlog. My friends Micah and his wife Linda actually told me, "Hey Ray, you should do your reflection vlog like right now, like right here while you're still in Issaquah. While you still have all this like running emotions in you." And guess what? Right now the time is about 2:18 in the morning, 2:18 a.m. and I'm still wide awake. I want to go to sleep maybe by 3 to get breakfast because I want to see what they have at breakfast. But yeah, I just want to get down my thoughts about how I felt about the show, and initially how I felt about the show going into the prejudging. So let's talk about the vid. So to condense things down, instead of watching like the weekend vlog, which I'm going to be uploading, I don't know how I'm going to upload these videos. I participated in the show last Saturday or yesterday, and it was a pro qualifier. I participated in the novice category. I wanted to do novice and open, but the promoter said I wasn't allowed to do that. So I was reimbursed and asked which division or which category I wanted to do, and I decided to do novice because I wanted to legitimately graduate from the novice division and then start working on the open. Anybody can do open, which is totally fine, but I feel like I'm not viable yet to, run toe to toe with people who are going to be the open, which people who do the open are going to be after the natural pro cards. So I know for a fact I'm not ready for that yet, but if I do place first or win a novice category, then I could legitimately start focusing on the open, like actually viable, or that's like a first baby step to be viable in the open, right? And so I actually won the novice class yesterday. I took first place. I actually have the award right here. This little trophy award right here. It's pretty cool, right? And I also got another award as well. I got the Best Male Poser Award for men's bodybuilding. So this is pretty significant simply because the fourth show that I did back in June 2014, the Columbia Classic, I actually won Best Male Poser at that show. So I'm like 2 for 2 right now. 2 for 2 consecutive, you're right, 2 consecutive wins. So I feel good about that. When I initially came to this show, I felt like everything was going to go wrong. Like I was practicing in the morning, I was getting my meal in, like I was pretty much really ready to stay on point with everything as far as nutrition, water intake, blah blah blah, the whole magic of show day nutrition. But the posing felt off. I was like really irritated, so I calmed down like an hour later, but still it didn't feel like I was hitting my poses. So going into prejudging, it felt like, what, I'm just gonna step out on stage, do work, and whatever placement I get, I'll take it, regardless, even if I don't get called up. But when I did the prejudging, I felt kind of normal, as if like I was actually at home, like doing posing practice, just like snapping into place. Like even some people that managed to kind of compliment me on in passing, about my presence on stage. They're like, dude, you snapped to your poses, right? Like even my friend Micah, he was like, your poses were like sticking. They were on point. Conditioning was really good. How I compared to the other guys, I knew for myself, and I'm not talking down anyone or anything. Like I don't want to feel like I don't want to sound like I'm better than other people, but I knew for myself compared to the other 6 guys that I was competing up against in the novice, I knew I could beat 5 of them. The other guy, a younger guy, who has definitely a very very big amount of potential because he's still young, I knew for a fact like he would probably be the one that would win, right? Because I knew like last time I saw him, he was in pretty good shape, and me it was like I'm not in good shape because I do my own prep, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But I saw him and I realized he's probably gonna win it. But that's my mentality looking at someone who's really good, because I know my physique, and when I think about my physique, I'm always like, Ray, you look like crap. You need this to work on, you need that to work on, you need to get your glutes and hamstrings out. I always tell that to myself. Like I can't really say a lot of positive things about me when I realize I know I have a lot to work on. So instinctively, I will say that person is better because they look better in my eyes, right? But as far as like when we were being moved out on stage, like I think when I walked up on stage, I was in the middle the whole time. And I know like in NPC, being in the middle is pretty significant, but in natural bodybuilding, they said being in the middle isn't there's no significance being in the middle. You're just being shifted around so that other judges who can't really see you, they'll get a better picture at you because they really take time to look at you compared to like NPC prejudging, which they kind of go quick just because of the amount of competitors. But I stayed in the middle pretty much the whole time, and the other guy, the young guy I was going up against, that I feel like he was gonna win. We were only switched back and forth maybe like twice. That's it. Maybe the guys on the ends they were shifted around, but me and him kind of just stuck in the same place. So I don't know. I felt pretty good, like right there in the middle, looking at the crowd, looking at the judges. Like I got a good view of all the judges in front of me. That's what Michael Landon told me when I do my mandatories. If when I'm doing like the front relax stuff, like look at the judges because they're the ones looking at you. They're the ones trying to. They're the ones you're trying to impress. So give them confirmation that you're sticking your pose to them and you're turn to each judge. And so that's what I did with prejudge. So I kind of just ran with all the technicalities of how to do mandatories, and I felt pretty good after that. But I still had that whatever I get mentality. So that's how I felt about that. So next, when it came to the evening show, I had to work on my posing routine because we were coming on stage from the right side, from the right or from the left side from the audience, but it was right side of the stage, like when we're coming from the back, and I kind of created my routine to come from the other side. So I actually had to kind of wing what I wanted to do for the introduction, and it felt pretty fine. But the show itself was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was even though like it seemed like there weren't a lot of people, but they were into it. Like the audience were into it, and like the people who competed at the show last year, they were like, the audience is much better this time. But I did see the audience wane a little bit, or it decreased by the time we got to the end where they had to do the overall for bikini. But if anything, doing the routine, I had to do a little bit of fixes, but I felt pretty good. It was just like, it's just like doing my poses and my practicing at home. Just going through the motions. The big thing I think that really helped this time was really thinking about like my pump up. I was like, I had in mind what I wanted to do rather than kind of just make sure I hit something like this, hit something like that. Like I actually kind of followed a plan. Like I actually had a set game plan of how I wanted to do like a particular circuit. So, and that's what I did. Maybe I kind of overdid it on things, especially because we had to wait a long time before we got on stage for both prejudging and the evening show. But I had a game plan, even though I felt like whatever, that give me whatever I got and I'll take it. But yeah, they did the announcements, and they did announcements. They did the awards, and when they kept calling other people up, like honorable mentions, and then a couple people up, like, oh, maybe I did better than fifth. Oh, maybe I did better than fourth. Oh snaps, I'm top 2. Wait, I didn't get called for second. So when the other guy got called for second, I like a weight kind of like lifted off my shoulders. Like it felt like I was ready to cry at that point because it was just like this is something I've been working towards because it's like the goal, like to graduate from novice to be at the next level rather than to just immediately skip the introduction and just go into the game. Like no, I always want to make sure that I get the basics down before I head straight into the game. That's what I practice when I play video games. It's weird to kind of make that connection together because I'm a geek, right? So man, when I got that award, it was like a lot of emotion in me. It's like I know I've been working at this, and I've been trying really hard to get everything right, and even going through these 26 weeks of preps, it feels like there's still more work to be done. But this day, I was recognized that you did the work, Ray. You did the work, or everyone did the work, I should say. Like I'm not saying like I did the work, but everyone has done the work. It was just today, I was the one that stood out, among the other 6 guys for the men's novice, and I just felt like I almost have it right. I almost have it right, and this is why I want to graduate from novice to go into open, because when I have that right formula, then I have a good foundation to work off of. To set new goals, set new realistic goals in order to do better in the open. So I'm at that point now, and it's kind of crazy that um, I kind of think, or I kind of theorize that maybe I had maybe another 2, 3 shows before I could get really good at novice. But today was my best showing, and the judges acknowledge it. The people's in the audience acknowledge it. My friend Micah, who I truly look up the most, because he's the guy who is educated in training. He's the guy who is trained with quality people around the area here in Washington. He's the guy that I look up to, and to get that compliment from him, and it was just like, oh man, it felt really good. It felt really good from here, man. It felt really good. So it's just like, man, I wish like other friends could have been there too. Like close friends from home, just to kind of see, because this is something I want to prove to I guess my age group, my generation, is that we're getting older. A lot of us are already having families. A lot of us are kind of just letting ourselves go. But if we try, to do something, if you want to do something, we still have time to do it. This is a true case for me where I've been lost for like the last couple years, and this is why like I've been depressed, and I have these periodic times of depression, which is why like I used to be kind of like a quiet guy, but not like a quiet like very introverted guy. I was quiet, but I was very sociable. I was good. I hang around good people. I was a leadership type person, when I was really put into the role. But after high school, I really turned into like an introvert, because I started to be really scared of a lot of things. I was scared of just being social. I was socially awkward, and I'll admit it. Like even girls, just being rejected a lot in high school. I just started being afraid of just interacting with females. That's how like I started to become very introverted. I just didn't want to interact with that, and I would make myself get lost playing video games, because that's like the best outlet for me. But with doing something where like I'm focusing on a goal, an achievable goal, or a goal that I know it's realistic, like I would go forward with. I could do it. Just tell me, and I could do it. Here, this is like the first time in my own life. My own life. This is the first time in life where I told myself that I'm capable of this. I'm capable of doing this bodybuilding stuff. I'm capable of stepping on stage, and this is why I wanted to do it back in 2013. I almost didn't, but I with a little bit of inspiration, I did. And then from there, it was all a roller coaster. A lot of you guys saw the next show and the next show and the next show, and if you're following me up right now, this is where everything is led up to. Like it was improvement every single time, and success after success. And if I just put forth the effort, I could just make myself a little bit better. And I just need to apply that to just real life now, because now like I'm just realizing that I have better potential in something as long as I put the energy towards it. Because I've always been just in my hidey hole, playing video games and not really doing a lot. But now going out and about, I'm more sociable. I'm not so introverted, but I'm working on it. And it's I'm improving day by day. Like I don't have a lot of these depression episodes anymore. I actually feel like life is worth something compared to say maybe like 7, 8 years ago, where it's like I started to not give a shit about myself. Now it's like I actually feel like I could do something, and my friends and other people, strangers around me, can see I'm capable of doing something. So it's like I'm really motivated to make a lot of moves now, and I'm glad that bodybuilding is not the thing that defined me, but it helped open my eyes a bit more. And it feels kind of strange, guys and gals, when you hear this from me, but it feels like I've truly found the old Ray. the old Ray that was in the guy that wanted to stand out was kind of, he had interesting traits. He just had to put himself out there to kind of show everyone. Like, I don't know, like the people who knew me in high school when I did the rap thing, you know, I wanted to do that. And guess what? I stood out. I stood out from that. I wanted to do, you know, I wanted to do more, but it was just like, I guess that was the thing I loved back then. Now with this bodybuilding thing, you know, I'm reconnecting with a lot of people that, you know, maybe haven't known me for a while, don't really talk to me, and they see these photos that I'm doing, especially right now, you know, posting the new stuff on Facebook. I'm doing something, and I'm inspiring people. I love it. I love it. So, what does this mean for the future? So, the plan right now is obviously, um, I need to focus on how I can improve myself for the open, because I know who is in the open. I know who's going to participate in the open. I know the type of competition that's going to be in the open, because the last couple of shows that I've done, that had legitimate amount of competition in, the men's open bodybuilding, I've never got called up. And so now the next goal, maybe not, you know, try to win an open category, because winning an open category means you're going to be viable for that pro card, you know, chance, you know. But I think now the small goal is to get a legitimate call up into the open. So get legitimately called in the top five. And when I mean legitimately called in the top five, it's kind of like in the same situation where, you know, I won my novice category. There are 7 people, 2 of them are going to get honorable mentions, but the other 5 are going to get called up. So I want to at least maybe be in a competitive pool of, you know, 7 plus guys, and get called up in men's open short or men's open lightweight, whatever the category will be. I want to get called up in whatever whatever subcategory of men's open bodybuilding at whatever show I'm going to do in the future. So that's the next goal. But like I said, I realize I realize what it's going to take, and I see the type of physiques that I would be going up against. And right now, you know, I'm being honest with myself, and not in a negative sense. I have a lot to work with. I have a lot to work with, and I have a lot to do. But the show in April, the Washington State Natural, it is a viable show right now to participate in. I'm already stage ready, and it's it's gonna be like what, 28 weeks or something, 30-ish weeks until April. So I have a lot of time to do like a recomposition, so reverse diet, and, you know, bump up my calories, but try not to stray away from my stage weight, you know, where I am right now. But let's try to get a little bit more bigger. So I got to do a little bit of research on that, and that's another thing that I want to talk about. But this video is going to be long. Is that I did all this prep by myself. I planned all the training to match like my goals. I planned all the dieting to kind of match my lifestyle. And also another thing for this prep is that I rarely use dietary supplements. Like, I used a lot in the past, you know, like creatine, um, caffeine pills for pre-workouts, BCAAs, aminos. You know, I've used a lot of things. Oh, L-carnitine was a good one. I used a lot of things, but this time I made sure with the diet, the way I function, the way I not function, the way I planned and blueprinted the diet. I wanted to make sure all the nutrients came from the diet, because I didn't want to say take some BCAAs or what is it, glutamine or something like that to help with like recovery post workout, right? You know what? I actually feel good post workout if I had like a meal. So, you know, that's what I did. I had a meal post workout. I didn't believe in intro workouts as well, because I don't like having to sip on something or to have a little bit of food while I'm working out. So, you know, it's just like, just have a pre-workout meal, just something sizable. It'll be digested as the workout goes, right? So I didn't have too much reliance on dietary supplements. You know, I might have taken like specific vitamins, like I knew my diet was lacking a little bit of vitamin C, and I know I could get that from foods, but it was like, I'm still playing with calories. So it's like, oh, let's just get a vitamin for that. And I think I needed a little bit more potassium. And I'm still having a learning curve of taste for some foods with rich in potassium. But I love my bananas though. I love my bananas. But yeah, the lack of dietary supplements, also kind of cut into the fact that these start to add on to the cost of food. So I was like, you know what, let's have a reliance on food. And so now, I kind of customize a really good plan to, with flexible dieting, with the flexible dieting approach, the IFIM, if it's macros thing, that, I kind of made it a part of me. Like, I've made it a part of life, made it as normal as can be. And, there are times where I didn't really need to track food at all, but I knew like what I was taking in. So maybe like I'll have a couple days where I'm consistently like eating this type, eating these same foods for a day, and then I'll switch it up, but still hit within the same macros. So yeah, so I made all the prep by myself, but it was thoughtful, methodical, a lot of research and a lot of reading. I've been doing my own prep since the first show, and like I said, or like I said at the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. Even right now, I still don't know what I'm doing, but I'm learning a new thing every time. I'm constantly researching. I'm constantly looking at data. I'm constantly kind of putting puzzle pieces together and see, will this work for me? Will this not work for me? If it's viable, let's try it out for a couple of days. If I'm not feeling it, don't use it, or maybe replan it again. If it does work, I could think about either continuing it, or let's put it on the back burner and see how I can use it down or later down the line, right? So I did my own prep. It's something that I don't recommend to people unless you truly want to learn everything by yourself, but it's going to take a long time. So if you want to learn about, proper training, proper dieting and such like that, I obviously recommend a coach, because I met a lot of people who are personal trainers and online coaches or prep coaches and such like that, and they are like legit, right? So, or most of them, the ones I talk to are legit. So there are some shady ones out there, but that's up to the experience of the people who go to those shady coaches. But hire on someone knowledgeable to teach you that stuff if you're not willing to do all the learning by yourself. And even to this day right now, even like right now, I'm sipping on some Pepsi, actual calorie Pepsi, not like Pepsi Max, because there's no Pepsi Max in the vending machines, and I don't want to drive out to Safeway to get some food. But I'm learning every single day. It's like something new, something I'm curious about. I read it today. There's probably something tomorrow. There's something down the line. Maybe there's something on social media that I was like, I'll catch on to it. The trend or something. So yeah, I take notes of everything. And I think that drives the success that, I want to learn. I want to step forward, and I want to actually take the time and effort to do something, to learn something, to engulf it, to regurgitate it to other people, and other than that, I want to be the Ray that a lot of people looked up to, because that Ray disappeared and he just stayed in the shadows, and now he's coming back just a little bit, a little bit. Everything is improved day by day, right? So this reflection is going on long. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Micah, for recommending me to do this while I'm still in Issaquah. All right, I did it. This could have been an even longer video, but I think I condensed everything down. All right. So, I'm gonna make my drive home tomorrow, but I want to wake up for a free breakfast just to kind of see what's there, and then we'll drive home, rest up, and we'll think about how I'm gonna do recomp for the next couple weeks. So I'm not gonna let myself go. This is something that I want to maintain, or not maintain, but something I want to keep, but improve on little by little, right? Because small Ray right here needs to be how my friend called me, and how one of my friends nicknamed me, medium Ray. I want to be a legitimate medium Ray, or I want to be a legitimate extra medium Ray. So just slightly bigger than medium. All right. So thank you everyone who managed to get out to the show. Thanks to friends and family for their support for these last 26 weeks of prep, and stay tuned for more in the future, because I'm just only going to get better, and maybe somewhere down the line that pro card is going to be within grasp. All right? Peace out. Bye-bye.